Week 15. Oh, my goodness. This is the time to get the dub. It's a win or go home, regardless if it's round 1 or round 2. We're going to help you with some start-sit advice on the show today for the fantasy football playoffs. So let's get straight to it.
Welcome to the FantasyLand Football Podcast.
Okay, hello.
Oh boy.
Welcome into the show. My goodness. It is literally, 9 days from Christmas now? You can see I've got my little Christmas tree if you're watching on YouTube. Nice little decorations. How are you, Badaki? How are you feeling today?
I'm good. Excited for round, technically one for, not
two.
one,
It's
but
round
like,
two.
you know, my first matchup.
Yeah,
for the playoffs.
because you had the bye week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's all playoff talk right now, as it should be. Hopefully you're in the playoffs, and hopefully you're into round 2, or maybe it's round 1 for you. Regardless, best of luck. It is Wednesday, the 16th of December.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
And we've got a great show for you today. Of course, as we've already talked about, it's all about playoffs right now, Badaki. There's nothing else to talk about in fantasy football other than the playoffs.
The playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Badaki and I both had first-round buys in the league that we cover here on the podcast. So we're excited just to get into some action, hey?
Yeah, I'm excited to wake up and see my players play. It was interesting last week, or this past week, I was watching all my players play, even though they weren't playing for any reason, in my perspective, for fantasy. But it's going to be exciting, you know. I have Austin Eckler on Thursday night. I have Stephon Diggs on Saturday. I'm buzzing.
Yeah. It's going to be fun to watch. Let's talk about some news today.
What is going on here?
All right, what is going on around the National Football League? This is your need-to-know news. Now, my goodness.
Yeah.
The first one is just painful. I think of the meme with Will Smith and just the pain meme where his face is just like this. If you're watching on YouTube.
Right.
This is painful. Christian McCaffrey not expected to play in Week 15.
No,
It hurts.
not. I mean, I literally said this right before we started. I was like, I'm buzzing because, I mean, as much as I want CMC to play because he's talented, I'm excited that he is not contributing to your team.
Yeah, I've got CMC on my team. It's round 2, and I really expected him to be back by now. Oh my goodness. Could you imagine just the pure joy that was on my face when I drafted Christian McCaffrey to now thinking about him? Just the pure agony this whole season has brought me. It's not a happy story at all. Not expected to play this week, guys. Don't drop him. Hopefully he can make the championship and he'll play next week. Matthew Stafford. Looks like a pretty serious injury. This dude is always injured.
Yeah.
Can never stay healthy.
This is essentially kind of what Drew Brees had, but Drew Brees had the broken ribs. Matthew Stafford has that rib cartilage injury. He doesn't have any broken ribs, but the team is not really optimistic that he's going to play on Sunday against the Titans. And this is a huge fantasy loss in a sense, especially for the team around him. You know, if Kenny G is back, if DeAndre Swift is playing, Marvin Jones, TJ Hawkinson, obviously we'll talk about that more, but that's a huge hit.
It'll definitely affect everyone, but he looks like he probably won't play on Sunday.
Yeah.
Deebo Samuel also not going to play this week, potentially out for the rest of the season. I think the quote was he won't play in the regular season from Mike Shanahan. So pretty safe to say you can't start him the rest of the year. Devontae Parker has a slight hamstring strain. Status to be determined this week. He hasn't actually missed a game all year, so that's encouraging. But I'm not sure that it's a good chance from what we've been told.
Yeah, we're going to get some more reports today. Obviously, Devontae Parker is kind of known to have some sort of injury or miss at least 3 to 4 games a year. And this is the first time he's designated with the injury. Or sorry, not the first time he's designated with the injury, but first time he can actually miss time. And I guess that was pretty big for Devontae. He played with injury throughout the whole year. Maybe he needs some rest, but I'm not really sure it's a huge fantasy hit for people either.
Yeah.
Whack.
Anyway. It is what it is. Henry Ruggs has also been placed on the COVID reserve list. I don't think anyone was going to start him, but at least you need to potentially know that. All right. The best way to keep up with all things fantasy football, guys, is to follow us on all of our social media accounts. On Instagram, that's at FantasyLand Football. On Twitter, that's FantasyLand_FB. You can watch a show on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any notifications. You can follow us on TikTok at FantasyLand Football. You can listen to the show on any podcast in the entire world. Drop us a review if you would be so kind. That would mean a lot to us. But let's talk about Week 15 start or sit advice. We're going to break it all down for you. So let's talk about it.
Excuse me, can I touch you for a minute? Excuse me, can I touch you for a minute?
Okay.
Wow.
We've got quite a lot of content to talk about on today's show, Badaki.
Yeah.
We're going to cover the first 8 matchups of the week, and then on tomorrow's podcast, we're going to cover the second half. So 8 today, 8 tomorrow. We're going to break all the matchups down, tell you who we would potentially start, who we would potentially sit, or different scenarios, hopefully, to help you make some hard decisions in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, Badaki, why don't you start us with our first matchup for Week 15?
That's right. The 4-9 Chargers at the 7-6 Raiders. It's Thursday Night Football in the black hole, if what they say out in Las Vegas. If they even call that. Do they call the stadium the black hole still?
I don't think they call it. I think they have a new name for it, and it has something to do with Star Wars. I'm trying to remember.
Is it like the Death Star or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. It's I can't believe it's slipping my mind. It might be the Death Star, but anyway, it's been sad for both SoFi Stadium and Reliant Stadium because there's been no fans.
Yeah,
it's such a beautiful stadium.
Crazy,
but yeah.
Look, I think this game's pretty simple. Everyone on the Chargers you have to start, and everyone on the Raiders you have to start. Austin Eckler, Justin Herbert, Hunter Henry, Keenan Allen. I think if there's any person that you're questioning to start, I think it could be Justin Herbert. Obviously, we've seen a decline of his work ever since Austin Eckler has come back. We've seen him not be the best of, what we saw in the middle of the season. If you have Justin Herbert, you are starting him with confidence. I think I can say that with confidence that Zach, is gonna start him with confidence.
Yeah, I am going to, because I think if you have Justin Herbert, you're not going to stream a quarterback over him.
Right.
You're not going to stream like a Phillip Rivers over him. I think Justin Herbert, if he's your guy, make him your guy, ride it out with him. It's a good matchup against the Raiders too, so That's how I'm looking at it this week.
Who is somebody that you're starting over Justin Herbert? Out of curiosity.
Yeah, it's a good question. Obviously, look, there are people I am starting over him. If you have your Patrick Mahomes, if you have Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson this week, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, those are the guys I'm probably starting over Justin Herbert. I'm not starting Taysom Hill. I'm not starting Ben Roethlisberger, Jared Goff, Derek Carr, Mitchell Trubisky, Jalen Hurts. All those guys I'm not starting over.
I had a couple
Herbert.
people. I don't know if you said them. Ryan Tannehill. Yeah. You starting him over Justin Herbert?
Tannehill, I think that's pretty much a 50-50. You just got to kind of whatever you feel best about.
What about Matt Ryan?
I'm definitely starting Herbert over Matt Ryan.
Okay. All right.
Just Matt Ryan's been really, as much as we can say Herbert's been a little up and down since Eckler's been back. Everyone knows my take on it. Anthony Lynn somehow still is a head coach, but I think the same could be said for Matty Ice. It's not Matty Ice. Oh, it's Matty Ice. He's not been good lately.
Makes sense. I think like I said, if you have these guys, you start them with confidence. I know Austin Eckler and Keenan Allen were on the injury report for the Chargers, but technically didn't practice. They would have been limited at practice. So we're going to get some more information of when they practice today. So stay tuned on our social medias for that. But on the Raiders side of the ball, every week we always tell you there's only 2 people you can start, and that's Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller. Mm-hmm. That's point blank period. You set and forget. Obviously, if Josh Jacobs doesn't play for some sort of injury reasons, then Devontae Booker. Are you excited? Would you start Devontae Booker in this case if he doesn't play? Obviously, he's been up and down.
No, we talked about this last week. He had his chance to show that he could be the guy.
Right.
But I don't think Josh Jacobs is going to miss this week. He played last week, and there's been no reports come out so far saying that there's any sort of lingering issues.
Okay.
So I really expect Josh Jacobs to play in a game where they need both of these guys to be great.
Yeah.
They need both of these guys to be great. If they lose another game, playoffs are looking really unlikely for them.
Yeah, that's it. JJ.
How funny, by the way, was Josh Jacobs' Instagram story.
Yeah.
Saying, I'm not playing. Everyone's going to be mad at me. You know what's crazy, though? I thought about it. How many thousands of people would have taken Josh Jacobs out of their lineup because of that? And then seen him play and been like, wait, what the heck?
Surely those people would have waited to see, like, that was being covered throughout the whole time. Pre-game.
Yeah, but there wasn't enough time to have been like, oh no, he's actually playing. There wasn't enough time really. So right. I feel like tons of people would have. I mean, he only put up 10 points, so it's not like, I don't know. I feel like it was funny, but like if you're gonna go up and put out 10 points, it's kind of like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have started you.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have to start him, especially with the volume.
Yeah, absolutely. Start him, and you're chilling.
All right, the next matchup is the 10-3 Bills at the 5-8 Broncos. This is a Saturday game. A little strange, but we got a double header on a Saturday, and this is the first of the double headers. The Bills have been great, probably exceeded a lot of people's expectations. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah,
Josh Allen has been great. He's been a superstar. You're starting Josh Allen. You are also starting Stephon Diggs. Last week, he was announced the first receiver to get 100 receptions. Now, I think there has to be an asterisk by Devontae Adams' name because Devontae is at 91 and he missed 40 games. So I think Devontae, 4 games.
40, wow. Missed the whole what?
Oh my goodness. Talking season? Is hard.
Today, Junior.
But yeah, Diggs has been great. You're starting Stephon Diggs. He's been an absolute star. Now, the 2 players I want to talk about, because you're not starting any running back on this team.
Yeah.
That's pretty obvious. Is Cole Beasley and John Brown. Because John Brown is back from IR and he's practicing. And typically what we've said is Cole Beasley's had this upside because John Brown has been on the IR. So there's been very clear target share for Cole Beasley. Can you start either of these guys with confidence now in the playoffs? It's not about risk taking. It's about what do we know. Now, I'm not sure that you could start either with confidence. I love Cole Beasley. He's been great.
Right.
But will the target share still be there now that John Brown's back?
I think if there was one person I had to start, it would still be Cole Beasley. Am I excited to start him? No. And if this is a Hail Mary situation, absolutely Cole Beasley. If you are somebody that has Deebo Samuel and you have Cole Beasley on your bench and Deebo's hurt, you're starting Cole Beasley with confidence. I think that Cole Beasley is John Brown is actually going to open things up for Cole Beasley. He's going to be another threat to the team, to the opposing team when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
I think if you have to start one, it has to be Cole Beasley, in my perspective.
Yeah. I still think at best Cole Beasley is a desperation flex. I'm just not hyped on the idea of starting him with confidence. And like we said last week, who are the people that you are like, you know what, I'm happy to ride or die with you? If this doesn't work out, I'm happy to ride or die. In a certain league, that was Justin Jefferson for me. And I died last week. I didn't make it past the first round. There are certain people you need to decide, am I happy to ride or die with you? I'm not sure Cole Beasley is that guy for me. So I'm not confident in starting either of those guys personally.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the Broncos side of the ball. As far as fantasy football goes, there's not much to talk about. But the only guy we've really been talking about this entire time, Badaki, has been Noah Fant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should start Noah Fant. I don't know if that's the case anymore.
No.
Had an injury it wasn't an injury, just an illness out of nowhere.
He had a little stomach.
Dropped an egg.
Stomach ache. Oh. You had a little stomach ache, baby.
I don't know if you can start him with confidence this week.
Nah, definitely not. You know what's crazy? The Broncos has so much time. Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant, Melvin Gordon, Phillip Lindsay. Who else they got? I mean, technically Drew looks talented, but he hasn't really done much. Like, there's a lot of talent on this team. Obviously, Cortland Sutton's hurt. Jerry Jeudy hasn't been seeing the targets that we all expected him to see.
Yeah.
Noah Fant, yeah, look, I don't think you can start him. There's a lot of people that have been hurt by him, that have lost playoffs purely because of Noah Fant. Who are you starting over him now? Like, it's
I was gonna say actually, here's a list of some people who are kind of in the same area who I'm probably starting over Noah Fant. Jordan Reed, Hayden Hurst. I know that's crazy. Mm-hmm. Probably still gonna trust Hayden Hurst over him. Jonnu Smith. The matchup's great. Evan Ingram, Dallas Goedert, Eric Ebron. I struggle with Logan Thomas. He's probably on the edge for me. But those are some guys that I would consider. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's no one else that I see in my man, that's crazy.
I think you can start Melvin as a desperation flex, but I'm not excited about starting Melvin.
Okay.
And the last thing I want to say is I saw NFL Fantasy post about picking up Drew Lock from the waiver wire.
Oh my gosh.
They posted a lot of people. I was just like, what are you guys doing? Why are you telling people to pick up these players? Kendrick Bourne, Drew Lock. What are people going to do in week 15 with these players? Are you telling them to start them? Just to clarify, don't start Drew Lock in case that needs to be said. Did he have his best game of the year last week? Yes. But let's not forget, week 2, negative points. Week 6, 3 points. Week 7, 12 points. Week 10, 8 points. Week 11, 11 points. Is this a guy that you're really trying to trust right now in the playoffs? Absolutely not. So,
say no more. Don't start Drew Luck. 4-9 Panthers at the 10-3 Packers. This is the second game for Saturday night football. Football. Look, we said it. CMC is unlikely to play, and if CMC is out, Mike Davis is the next guy up. He's always been the next guy up. He's been fantastic. If you had Mike Davis as the handcuff all year for CMC, we all know that the Packers give up the most. Let me change that. They probably give up the top 3 now points in running backs. They obviously every week it changes. You start Mike Davis. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. And I think the big question here is the 3 receivers. Once again, Robbie, DJ Moore, and Curtis Samuel. Obviously, Robbie did his thing last week, putting up 17 points. Curtis Samuel kind of did his thing. He put up 15 points. Obviously, DJ Moore was out still. I mean, once again, these are the 3 receivers that they have on this team. Are you confident still in starting all 3 of these guys?
I think you can. I think they're all really good flexes.
Okay.
I'm not going crazy beyond that, but I think they're all decent flex options if you need to find a flex.
Okay. even with, the Packers not giving up too many points.
I would like to argue that the Packers are going to score, which means the Panthers will need to try and throw the ball. So it's kind of like a reverse psychology almost with the matchup. It's like, well, there's going to have to be opportunities for these wide receivers.
Right.
Because the Packers are going to score.
If you had to put these guys in, I think we did this last time. If you had to put these guys in order, what's your order?
Robbie, Curtis, DJ.
Okay. Say no more.
I just heard like a dog yell at the top of his lungs from your end.
Oh, really? Yeah, dog barking. Probably somebody's at the door or something. I don't know.
Yeah, easy.
Somebody's downstairs so they can open the door. Packers side of the ball. Shout out to Boots. That's the name of the dog. Shout out to Boots.
Shout out to you, Boots. It's Christmas season, Got to have all the family around. There will be some noises in the background. It is what it is.
Packers side of the ball. Look, there's a lot of talks, but I'm going to name the people, and then we'll talk about the guy that we're all going to talk about here. Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Robert Tonyan, I think is a must start. And the other big name here is Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
So what is happening? I know a lot of people sent through DMs this week saying what's happening with Aaron Jones. Is this true what you're saying? Is like what do you know? Do you know anything? Do you feel anything? Obviously there was a report that Aaron Jones fired his agent because he wasn't able to close on this, long-term deal before the end of the season. Yeah. What's happening?
I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you. I have no idea other than the fact that I still stand true to what I said. They don't want to pay him max money. They don't want to give him a big contract. And it's so obvious in the way they're splitting the carries. I think you have to start him again because the matchup is great. But are you happy about it? Are you optimistic about it? No, unfortunately not. If he doesn't score a touchdown, it's almost like you're in this mediocrity. If he scores a touchdown, look at his game logs. It's a great day if he scores a touchdown. Man, right. You are ecstatic with it. But if they don't give him a chance to score a touchdown, then normally his day hasn't been great. And what's frustrating is there's been so many goal line situations where Aaron Rodgers has just thrown the ball instead of giving Aaron Jones a chance. And that's what's flipped from last year to this year. There's been a lot of touchdown regression. And I think, again, it's because they don't want to pay him big money. Maybe it's a theory. I don't know. I'm sticking to it, though.
Do you think...
But you have to start him.
Right. Do you think...
You have to.
That was the case last year because, they would get into the 10 in that red zone area. They would run the ball. And Aaron Jones was performing last year. He was really good in fantasy. Where Devontae Adams, not that he wasn't good, he was just your average top receiver. So
he was great, but you're right. Like he didn't have he had crazy amounts of targets, but in the end zone it wasn't as good as it was this year. I don't know what flipped, and it's really confusing to be honest. What's going on here? Because this whole organization, we've talked about it for a long time. It's like, let's draft a quarterback in the first round and a running back in the second round. And we kind of know what we're doing, but not really.
Yeah.
We don't really know what we're doing at all. And I think what's very obvious, to me at least, is that this organization from the top down isn't really sure of the moves they're making.
No.
Right?
No,
I mean, it shows in every move they've made in the past 2 years.
I think...
Do they know what they're doing? I don't know. I think they're just guessing as they go.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of uncertainty in Matt LaFleur still. I know that they've been performing well. Maybe Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur have been doing this thing. They kind of meshed a little bit better this season.
Yeah.
But I don't think head office has the confidence in Matt.
I think they just like every month is different for them. Oh, what's this going to look like long term?
Right.
Every month feels different to them. And unfortunately, it's just been really frustrating as an Aaron Jones owner. So what can you do? But anyway, you're starting all those guys. You have to start Aaron Jones. Again, is he a guy you want to ride or die with? I think so. I think he's one of those guys you can be like, hey, whatever happens, it's you and me to the end, buddy.
Yeah.
You know? All right, next matchup is the 4-9 Texans at the 9-4 Colts. Now, it's a divisional game, and I think this one's going to be closer than people expect it to.
Yeah.
This
I think so.
maybe would have been our upset of the week, but we already called it again recently. I think we could easily see the Texans winning this game, just purely because of the talent of a Deshaun Watson. And I think Deshaun Watson is probably the only guy I'm telling you absolutely have to start on this Texans team. All this talk about Kiki QT, Brandon Cooks. Kiki QT's game last week was only saved by that touchdown. If he didn't get that touchdown, he would have had under 3 points, I believe, or just over 3 points.
Yeah, even with that touchdown, he didn't even break that 10-point threshold.
Yeah,
in a sense.
So, with all that being considered, I mean, I don't think there's anyone else you can really start except for Deshaun Watson. But the one person we should ask as a question maybe is David Johnson coming back this week. Can you start David Johnson against the Colts, which are a great defense against the running back?
I'm not starting him. There's no way I can start him. There's no way I can tell you to start him.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I can't do it. I don't know who you can start over. I guess if you had to put in perspective, are you starting Melvin Gordon or David Johnson?
Yeah, and that's a good question.
Because those are tough matchups for those guys. I don't see it. Are you starting?
I'll up you one. What about Todd Gurley or David Johnson?
Yeah, I mean, who's Todd Gurley playing?
Todd Gurley plays Tampa Bay. They've been pretty good against running backs.
Nah.
Yeah,
I don't want to start any of them.
No, it's really not a great situation to be in. What about Wayne Gallman or David Johnson? Wayne Gallman, right?
Yeah, Wayne Gallman for sure.
Okay, hopefully that makes you more comforted in your decision, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. We've got the Colts, obviously, on the other side of this matchup. Now, I think you have to start Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
I think you got to start him against this Houston defense. Houston gives up the second most points to running backs. And now, in back-to-back weeks, we've seen volume and production with Jonathan Taylor. He's a must-start, right?
Absolutely. I think he is now being used as if he is this top back. He is the only back in this offense. I don't know. It's so weird that they're using him so late in the season. Like, why? What happened?
I have no idea.
What made you second-guess him, his talent?
I don't know, but what we can hopefully... I hope this isn't a trap game. It's a trap. I hope it's not a trap game. But I'm starting Jonathan Taylor with confidence. Now, can you start Nyheim Hines? He has a decent floor, but he's not maybe got the upside we once thought he did.
I think you can start Nyheim Hines purely because of the matchup. They're going to run the ball a lot. And I think that, Jonathan Taylor is going to have his opportunity, and so is Nyheim Hines. I think both of these guys find the end zone this week. Even if Nyheim Hines gets 5 carries and a touchdown, that's something for you and your team if you start Nyheim Hines in the flex.
You know what's crazy is Nyheim Hines is the running back 16 on the year.
It's crazy.
The running back 16. Jonathan Taylor's a running back 12. That's just wild. And it's the big games that have really helped them reach those numbers. Now, T.Y. Hilton, 3 games in a row with great numbers. Amazing numbers. Now, you're probably thinking I'm going to say, absolutely, you can start this guy with confidence this week. T.Y. Hilton, look, the proof is in the pudding, right? Well, let's look at the bottom of the pudding, the little pudding cup. Okay, let's see what's there. The top is nice, but let's look at the very bottom. I want to remind you that from week 1 all the way to week 11, T.Y. Hilton only crossed the 10-point threshold one time. One time.
Right.
In 10 games, he was under 10 points. And some of these games are bad. 5-point games, 3-point games, 2-point games. Now, the last 3 games have been great, but to me, this feels like a trap game. And I don't know that I can start him with confidence, but I wanted to ask you, are you starting T.Y. this week?
Yeah. If I had T.Y. on my team and I needed a desperation. This is not a desperation. Let me rephrase that. I'm saying yes because we always talked about consistency. And I know, he hasn't been consistent all year, but he has been consistent this year. They must have found out a way to incorporate him. He must have been unhealthy. He probably wasn't ready to be playing all these games. They were maybe trying to incorporate the rookie and Michael Pittman Jr. Probably wasn't working as well. You know, they probably took snaps away from T.Y. But I think someone like T.Y. Hilton that can get the start over a... Who am I starting to? Are you starting Cole Beasley or T.Y. Hilton? Are you starting Corey Davis or T.Y. Hilton? Are you starting... Like, these are quick guys I could think of. Obviously, Corey Davis, he's had great games. He's been a lot more consistent than T.Y., but Corey Davis hasn't had the consistency throughout games.
He's been more consistent than T.Y.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm saying consistency throughout games, as in like back-to-back-to-back games.
Yeah, well, T.Y.'s only had 3.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And I think I'm not telling you to start him with confidence. I'm telling you to look at your options. Who are your options? You know, are you going to start? You're definitely not going to start Kiki QT over Ty. You're definitely not going to start John. Are you going to start a John Brown over Ty right now?
No. Not DJ Chark, not Jarvis, not Chase Claypool.
Yeah, those are the
so hopefully that helps.
Guys that I'm thinking about, and I can see Ty being a good option for people. Not the best option, a good option.
Hopefully that helps you make some decisions. And the last person I want to talk about is Phillip Rivers. And the only reason I want to talk about him is because NFL Fantasy told people to pick him up. Again, guys, I'm not going to ride or die with Phillip Rivers. I just wanted to tell you that. And hopefully you don't have to make that decision unless it's a 2-quarterback league.
Yeah. Don't. I'm not starting him either. On to the next one. 5-8 Lions at the 9-4 Titans. I mean, what a day from Derrick Henry last week. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
This
dude is just on another level right now.
Oh my God, he on X Games mode.
Literally just winter has come and Derrick Henry is here.
Actually, winter has come. That's crazy though. Look, Lions side of the ball right now doesn't look too good. Okay, Matthew Stafford doesn't look like he's going to play, and that really affects the team as a whole. And I said that earlier during Need to Know News, but Matthew Stafford is the glue, is the mold to this team, is the foundation to this team, and everyone's production is going to be affected by this. I know Chase, the backup is Chase Daniel. He's been the backup there for a couple of years. I'm not confident in him. The only guy I can tell you to start with confidence is T.J. Hawkinson. And that's not even with confidence, sorry. T.J. Hawkinson is, tight end 5 of the year so far. He's been doing this thing, obviously, with Matthew Stafford in. But I'm not excited in starting him. I'm actually going to start T.J. Hawkinson over Noah Fant. Yes?
Yeah.
Even with the quarterback change?
Yes.
Okay. And am I still starting T.J. Hawkinson over Hayden Hurst with the quarterback change?
Yeah.
Okay. Eric Ebron?
That's questionable, but they're in a very much toss up category.
Yeah, there's a lot of different scenarios that can happen here with T.J. Hawkinson that he can just have a boom or bust game with Chase Daniels. We don't know. We haven't seen Chase Daniels all year. It's hard. It's hard for this team, especially in the playoffs. You know, you probably somebody that picked up TJ Hawkinson off waiver wires and you're buzzing about him.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
Tell me about him. Well,
I can tell you about him.
Tell me.
He was saved by the touchdown last week. He only had 7 touches. He wasn't doing too well. He doesn't look like himself. I think AP is right. There's something wrong with him with that. After he had that concussion, the brain really just got jumbled up in there. It sounds terrible, but it's just.
Well, he did have the 5 targets and 4 catches as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, technically, he had 11 touches.
Okay.
But it's not like the crazy ceiling, right, that we were expecting.
Exactly. So, especially against the Packers, who give up a lot of points to running backs. So that was like the argument. The Titans are still up.
That's what we were talking about last week. We were just like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how many touches he's going to get, and we still don't know.
Yeah. Look,
but I think he's still a good flex.
Okay.
And if I was in a position where I had to start T.Y. Hilton, for example, or Swift in my flex, I'm starting Swift personally.
Yeah. That I agree with. Man, it sucks. It sucks, hey.
Yeah, it does. Injuries are the worst.
Swifty.
But they happen. Yeah.
Come back strong next year. You'll be all right, brother.
Yep. Big shout out to Swifty.
All right. Titans side of the ball, you already know what it is. Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, and our stream for this week in our playoff streams of the week or the playoffs is Ryan Tannehill. He's going against a good matchup. He's going against the Lions, who give up the 7th most points to quarterbacks. I think this is a great opportunity for you to, if you have Ryan Tannehill, you can start him. Obviously, we're starting him over the 2 people the NFL Fantasy app told you, which is Drew Luck and Phillip Rivers. We're starting Ryan Tannehill over them. We're starting Ryan Tannehill probably over Matt Ryan, Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Tom
Brady.
Hunter Henry. Oh, not Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry. Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's 50-50 there again.
50-50.
Yeah. But he's a great start.
I'm trying to think of other people just so we have some more. Who wish that? No, you have to start Kyler Murray. What about Jalen?
Deshaun Watson?
About Jared Goff? He's playing the Jets.
Jared Goff? Yeah, I would start Tannehill over Goff. I would start Tannehill over Hurts, Roethlisberger, Taysom. Maybe that helps. Yeah. I don't know.
Ryan Tannehill, like we said, start him. Great option this week. And I think the 2 guys that we talked about, Corey Davis and Jonnu Smith. Corey Davis didn't have his best game. And I think that, there's a lot of questions. Obviously, Zach said winter is here. Winter is coming. Derrick Henry has found his rhythm. He plays better in December. He plays his best football in December. And I think someone like Corey Davis and someone like Jonnu Smith are going to be affected by that. A.J. Brown still did his thing last week. And obviously he had that spectacular one-handed catch in the end zone for a touchdown. He still got more targets after that. But Corey Davis and Jonnu Smith's production has dropped tremendously. I'm not starting these guys.
You're not starting Jonnu Smith and Corey Davis?
I don't think you should start him purely because of Derrick Henry's
I agree.
Take off.
I think it's the big 3. I think you can only start Tannehill, Derrick Henry, and AJ. I don't think you can start anyone else.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The 6-7 Bears at the 6-7 Vikings. Divisional game. And this game means a lot for playoff hopes. Both of these teams still have a chance. It's very thin. It's very slim. But there is still a chance if they win out, I believe. The Bears. Now, look, David Montgomery, he's been unreal.
Monty.
And I think he is an absolute must-start. But I just want to say there's part of me that feels like this could be a trap game. I think you have to start him, but I do think this could be a trap game.
Why is that?
Personally. I don't know. I just have this weird feeling that he's not going to produce this week. And it's the only stat I can tell you is Minnesota's actually in the better half of defenses against running backs, but it's not as if they're elite by any means. I just feel like this matchup feels like the Vikings can score, which means that the Bears are going to need to throw the ball. And I don't know why. I think you still have to start him, but I am not confident in doing it. That's just me.
Okay. I was trying to think about when he played last, but I think that was the weeks that he was on IR and he missed those 3 games. Technically one because he had the bye week. It wasn't IR, but
yeah,
I think you have to start Monty. I think I'm starting Monty, and I think he can find the end zone. I think he can break off at least one big run, and then that can save the game.
I mean, he's been great.
I do get it. I get it.
Just as much as I've loved seeing him do great, I'm still not like, it's not confirmed in my heart that he's this great fantasy football asset just yet. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, it's confirmed in my heart that he's going to get more than 10 points this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be sad if he didn't. That would be massive.
Yeah.
Like, disappointment. Anyway, you have to start him. I'm just worried about it. Allen Robinson, you also have to start. And look, that's just because he's the volume king. Minnesota gives up the 4th most points to wide receiver. It's a no-brainer start. And then on the Vikings side of the ball, I don't want this to be any more complicated than it needs to be. You're starting Dalvin Cook, you're starting Adam Thielen, and you're starting Justin Jefferson. And I think you can't sit those guys. Again, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen are those guys that I am willing to ride or die with. So it's a big 3 for me and no more. I'm not starting Irv Smith. I'm not starting Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. I think I have the same feeling that you do with Adam Thielen purely because he went off last game against them. So I think this is a trap game for Adam Thielen in that perspective. I think Dalvin Cook will at least find the end zone this game, even though he didn't have the best game against the Bears last time. But I think the trap game here, in my perspective, is Adam Thielen. He had 2 touchdowns. Okay. He had over, 25 points that game. They're not going to let that happen again.
Okay, I get you.
9-4 Seahawks at the 6-7 Washington football team.
Wow. You mean the NFC East leading Washington football team?
We'll see.
Look at us. Hey, look at us.
Look at us.
Huh? Who would have thought?
Not me.
No, honestly, look at us.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
I
mean, we were last in the division, and somehow now we are 6-7 on top of the division.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Not me. Who would have thought? Look, I mean, this is a big game. Some will say they played a couple pretenders.
Yeah, definitely.
We
definitely
played the Steelers, played the 49ers.
So, I mean, I think the Steelers are a great team. I think the 49ers probably are in that pretender category this year, though.
Nah, jokes. Look, Seahawks side of the ball, that's really easy.
Mad, bro.
You're letting Russ cook. You're letting DK tower over people. You're letting Tyler Lockett have a spectacular catch. And Chris Carson is hopefully going to get touches.
Yeah.
That's really
it's
it.
Those guys. That's it.
Yeah. You're starting them. You're not doing anything else. You're chilling. And set and forget for these guys. Washington football team. Terry.
There you go, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in reverse, Terry.
Yikes.
Terry hasn't been doing too well the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure he's going to be any better with Alex Smith out. Obviously, he had the 2 games where Alex Smith was in.
I mean,
obviously,
I think we've seen what his ceiling is with Dwayne Haskins, though. Right? I mean, it's still a good ceiling.
It is.
Week 2, Dwayne Haskins, 25 points. Week 4 was Dwayne Haskins' last game, 21 points. So I still think he's a must start, especially against Seattle.
No, I definitely think he's a must start. I still don't. I can see him having the same games.
Yeah.
I can see him not, surpassing that 10-point threshold, and I think that can really hurt your team. I'm not saying there's anyone else you need to start over him. I'm saying Terry could hurt your team. Terry could lose your fantasy week.
Ride or die. Ride or die, baby. He's a ride or die guy. I'm happy to die with you, Terry.
The other guys here, J.D. McKissick, Logan Thomas. I'm happy to start these guys. I'm happy to tell you to start these guys. J.D. McKissick, obviously you started him You start him purely because of Antonio Gibson. He's out. I told you guys from the start, not from the start, but since Logan Thomas kind of came into the scene, you start Logan Thomas at the moment. Logan Thomas has been very well. I think I'm starting Logan Thomas over Hayden Hurst. I'm starting Logan Thomas over Noah Fant, potentially. I think we said it earlier. I know Zach will probably start Noah Fant over him. He's been getting the ball. And I think, I'm not saying, now thinking about the whole little rant that I just had, I'm confident with him with Alex Smith in.
Okay.
Dwayne Haskins, I'm not sure. Once again, he affects the whole team. He affects everyone. I think the only secure start in my heart is J.D. McKissick. They're going to do quick screens, quick passes. He's going to have to check down a lot. He's not going to have that much time, I don't think. And I'm not sure if, anyone else can really. You can start with confidence. You have to start him. Yeah. But Logan Thomas, I'm only starting him if Alex Smith plays. Okay.
Our last matchup of the day is the 6-7 Patriots at the 8-5 Dolphins. Yikes! This Patriots team, really, it's obvious they just need to hit a full rebuild mode. Cam's been poor, and I'm curious as to what's going to happen with Bill Belichick. How long will he stay? Will he go? Probably not. I don't know, but it's a storyline to follow. However, for fantasy purposes, again, I'm not sure if there's a must start on this Patriots team. Is there someone I'm missing?
No, there's no one you're missing. You know what's crazy? In that game, I forgot what game. Was it Thursday night they played? Against the Rams? Yep, Thursday night against the Rams. Yep. There was a stat saying that they have missed in the last 3 to 4 years in the receivers. Did you see that stat?
No.
They drafted, I think it was 8 receivers, and only 2 of them were in the league still in the past 4 years.
That's crazy.
And one is the Burrows guy on the Jets.
Oh, Barrios?
Yeah, Burrows, and then Damian Bird.
Okay, right. Yeah, should have gotten Marty Bird. If you know Marty Bird.
No, but it sounds like a cartoon character.
You don't know Marty Bird?
No, who's Marty?
Come on, bro.
Bird?
You know Marty Bird. From the show Ozark? That dude's a stone cold killer.
That makes sense. If you would just said Ozark, then I would have understood. But
shout out to Ozark. Shout out to the Bird family. You guys are stone cold killers. Okay, now the Dolphins side of the ball. I'm not sure there's anyone I'm starting either. Like, I just feel like this entire matchup is a complete just fade for me personally.
Waste of fantasy points.
Yeah, there's probably going to be someone relevant because someone's going to be able to score, but who will it be? I don't know, and I'm not confident starting Tua. Tua had a great game last week. So much respect to Tua because seriously, like, I did not expect him to put up that many points against the Chiefs defense. But now he goes up against New England, and New England has a great secondary. They give up the third fewest points to quarterbacks in fantasy. And I don't think Gesicki's going to play. I don't like starting DeAndre Washington. I don't like starting Devontae Parker. I don't know that you can start anyone in this matchup at all.
You can't. The only person that I can think of, or player or fantasy person you can put in, was a defense. Patriots defense. That's what I thought of. I thought of when...
Honestly, both of them could be great starts.
I'm thinking Patriots purely because we've seen what Bill Belichick has done to rookies so far this year.
Yeah.
He has slapped them in the face and said, you're not good enough yet, and I'm Bill Belichick. And I think he can do the same thing to Tua. This is also a divisional game, so...
You know what I want to see Tua to do this matchup? I want him to look Bill Belichick straight in the eye and say, You're not my dad, and just dominate the Patriots. Could you imagine? No, all jokes aside, yeah, I could see it being a good good matchup here
Yeah.
for this defense.
Highly considered.
All right, guys. All right, that is all of the matchups we are covering today. 8 today, 8 tomorrow. We're going to cover every single matchup for you. All the people that you want to talk about, you want to hear about, we're going to talk to you through. Words are hard. But the last thing we want to say is don't miss our live Q&A, which is a Saturday on YouTube. We answer all your start, sit questions live on our YouTube page, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's a great time to come hang out and ask some questions. Hey, Badaki.
Yeah, it's good. The season is still here.
Yeah, lots of questions still to be asked. So thanks so much for listening to the episode, guys. We will see you on the podcast tomorrow. Have a good night with your family. You know, get in the fire, maybe watch The Mandalorian together. I don't know. It's not in the head. Just shout out to The Mandalorian. It's getting pretty crazy now. But, all right, guys. All love. We'll see you on the next episode. See you there.
See you there.
Hey, yeah, you, the one listening to this podcast, you made a good decision today. Keep making those good decisions. You know what? Go ahead and do a little dance right now, like no one's watching. 'Cause you deserve it.